Okay, welcome everyone to the Hiland Dairy presentation, which is part of our milk bid evaluation process. This session is to allow Hiland to present to you all about their company, their operations, how they handle their customer service, any improvements they've made to some of their facilities. And then, of course, there will be time for Q&A at the end. And if you will please place your questions in the chat and I will present those to Hiland Dairy. So with that, I will hand over the screen to the Hiland Dairy team and let them take it away. And welcome. Thank you, Hiland Dairy, for being here today and presenting to our members.
Okay, thank you, Terry. Can everybody hear okay? You good?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, because we went through a few technology changes to get here, but we are. So good afternoon, everybody. And really want to thank Carrie for this opportunity to kind of let us tell our story. For some of us old timers around here, this technology is new for us. We're used to face, so we get used to that. But before we get started here, I would like to introduce our team. We've got our leadership team in the room with us. Julian Hernandez right there, controller and resident IT guy for today. And then Mike Flybacher and Eugene Ybarra are both our district sales managers. Our district is so large, typically the plants would just have one. We have two to help cover all of our customer service. Steve Boyston is our plant manager. He's the expert at keeping everything running. Kathy Tucker here is our quality control manager. So this is our leadership team in here in Dallas to help us keep things going. We'd just like to start off by saying there's several districts probably on the cost. There's a lot of people here from the multi-region that have been customers of ours in the past, maybe with Borden and some with Hiland, and some of them are still our customers. I'd just like to say that most of you are probably aware of the acquisition. Hiland Dairy did purchase the Borden Dairies in Texas in June of 2022. The acquisition of this size of this plant was really not common to the dairy, Hiland, or the industry. And some of you were involved in the acquisition and found out that it really didn't go all that smoothly. We tried to take on too much business, too fast, just all aspects of the changes, and it did negatively affect some of our service to our customers. The good news is with the acquisition, with Hiland purchasing this facility that had been capital starved for quite some time, the support from our leadership group has been tremendous as far as giving us the funding and the support that we need to get our plant back in shape and get our customer service back in shape. So with that being said, we have a short video. I think some of you may have seen it. But we're going to go ahead and run this short video just to kind of give you an idea of what the company has done here in Dallas.
We can't hear any sound if there's sound. Okay, so on the three dots, I should see something that allows you to share sound, share computer sound, or in the settings.
Share computer sound.
Yeah.
Right there.
Since 1938, Hiland Dairy has been a cornerstone of quality and care in the dairy industry. With a mission rooted in service, we've continuously adapted to meet the needs of our communities and partners. In 2022, Hiland Dairy purchased the Dallas Borden plant, stepping into a facility with no recent capital improvements and morale challenges. But this acquisition marked a turning point, paving the way for transformation.
I have been in this facility for several years. There wasn't a whole lot of capital spent on our plant. We just kind of kept it glued together.
The state of the plant was a bit rough. The infrastructure of the facility was really struggling. It had been capital starved for many, many decades, you could tell.
The skeleton, the bones of our plant were in bad shape. Our boilers, our compressors, our separators, our homogenizers. So that's some of the first things that were upgraded in our plant.
With a focus on quality dairy foods, Hiland Dairy invested heavily in modernizing the Dallas plant. State-of-the-art equipment has been installed, ensuring higher quality, safety, and efficiency.
That's a tremendous change when Hiland come in and realized what our needs were, and we were addressing them quickly.
Main focus was to come in and fix the basics right off the start. Make sure the product is cold, make sure it's clean, and make sure it's moving. My first year here was really focused on that. And that ranged anywhere from upgrading the engine room and adding ammonia compressors, air compressors, to going as far as getting the homogenizer replaced, new separator, and then we started diving in a year after that into replacing the filling lines and getting better efficiency and capability out of the plant.
We transitioned the total system change out. We changed SKUs, we changed product line, we changed distribution, we changed everything.
Our team has adopted updated processes that streamline operations and elevate customer satisfaction.
Where we've struggled and ultimately found a tremendous amount of growth over the last couple of years is the internal piece. The cross-functional communication, cross-functional collaboration, and making sure that all departments, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. If you're missing one little piece, the whole picture is ruined. And so that internal communication has paid big dividends over the last 2 years as we've grown and improved that.
Our employees, they're excited about what they do. Our attendance is much better than what it used to be before, and you actually have people that are taking ownership of their portion of the plant. If we could prove to our people that we really care about them and that we're making improvements here, and they care, it just makes the whole, from a quality and distribution and production standpoint, so much better.
We love happy employees, we love happy customers, and in my opinion, a happy customer starts with a happy employee. So our goal is to make sure that everybody feels like home when they come to work here.
Ensuring students receive fresh, nutritious milk daily is a shared responsibility. Hiland Dairy's dedication to on-time delivery and quality makes us a trusted partner for school districts like Arlington ISD.
Our department it stands on 3 pillars: accessibility of meals, the acceptability of meals, and food safety. And we expect that every one of our partners also have those as their top priorities. And so we have that type of relationship. So with Hiland, one of the most important relationships is our driver with our managers every morning.
It's really important to us to have the delivery on time, to have the product available for the students. We can check the product, making sure everything is ready to serve.
For me, it's the relationship that I have with our district sales manager, Eugene Ibarra. And that relationship has been solid for several years.
The most important factors is quality, service, but I think one of the most important factors, having a great relationship with the site manager, and it helps a lot when they get along and have a great relationship.
Milk is more than a beverage. It's a vital source of nutrition, providing the calcium, protein, and vitamins children need for healthy growth and learning. Hiland Dairy takes pride in delivering this essential nourishment with every carton.
Obviously, for bone health, that is probably one of the biggest ones that we know of. Phosphorus, calcium, vitamin D, all impact our bone health. Also, B vitamins that are in milk help cognitive function and just energy levels throughout the day. Milk is also high in fat and protein, which helps keep students full longer and just more focused on the classroom and not on their hunger.
With our recent upgrades at the Dallas plant, we're not just meeting these needs, we're exceeding expectations, one delivery at a time.
I believe that the biggest improvement that we've seen is probably our sense of reliability. We are in a place where we can say we can truly be dependent upon to make sure that all of our customers, all of our school partners have the exact products that they need in the exact quantities that they need in the exact time that they need it. And that's something that we're proud to hang our hat on.
Yeah, the excitement there is just we're going to be predictable, we're going to be consistent, and that's what we need to be a good provider, supplier to our customers.
At Hiland Dairy, we would be honored to be your trusted partner in nourishing students and families. We're ready to deliver with high-quality dairy foods at the forefront and a deep customer service tradition at our core.
Good. Okay. Yeah, I know some of you have seen that before, but that's just kind of an update of what we've done here. Some of you have seen dairy plants before. It may look like the normal dairy plant, but this is new to us because we had some real outdated equipment. This video was made a few months ago, so I'm going to have Steve, if you would, just kind of touch base on a few things that we've done since then and a couple of things that we have in the pipeline.
Sure. Hi, good afternoon, folks. So what that video showed was about 2 years in the making of this facility. I just wanted to share with you briefly a few things that we're going to do over the next 6 months at the plant here. The half pint filler that was in the video, we're going to be adding another one of those machines into our operation, doubling our capacity. We're going to be installing a separator on one of our pasteurization systems as well, which is going to improve our efficiency and time to get product into the tanks, which means a quicker product to you. And then we are expanding our silo capacity as well. We're going to be increasing a 10,000 gallon silo to a 25,000 gallon silo, bringing our overall facility capacity up quite a bit.
Okay, good. Yeah, so we still have plenty going on and plenty to do. And I can't emphasize enough the support that we get from our corporate leadership team. They've given us everything that we've asked for. But that's the mechanical stuff, and the expectations on your side as the customer is we should be mechanically sound anyhow, but we wanted to share that with you. But when we go to the events, the TASN events and visit with some of our districts, we're hearing the message about how can we partner to help market into school districts, just so that we can get out the message of the nutritional value of milk and then to help raise consumption with the districts. So in addition to the mechanical stuff that we've done, we've been working with our corporate marketing team with some help from some of our districts, just to kind of get their ideas on what we could do. Because really, from a marketing standpoint, we really haven't done anything since the old Milk Pep days, where we come and put posters on the walls and stickers and such as that. But try to get more involvement with some of the students. So there's a few slides here we'll go through. I'm not going to drain the slides, but just kind of see where we're going from just some of the things we're going to get back to. You know, we used to do side panel updates where you did cartoons or messaging on the side panels. So our corporate team has put together some programs for side panels just to kind of make it fun. I'll put jokes on the side panels. They've got somewhere we do some English to Spanish translations and just some interesting milk facts on the panels like we used to have. Something that's new, obviously, to me and to this stuff is digital advertising to give our district partners access to a link to a website that would help them to get to, update their menu templates, social media posts, and just some activities that are going on. We'll have sales reps assigned to each district that we have that would help access to the marketing. We don't want to just say, hey, we have a marketing program, log on and, help yourself. We really want to partner and be active with the districts so that they can take advantage of some of the things we have to offer. You can see we're kind of doing things for all of the classes, the elementary kids, coloring contests, puzzles, games, to work with the districts to pass out some prizes and things like that to some of the kids. One of the things that we had heard from the group also is middle school age kids, trying to get them to drink milk. How can we make it exciting for them? So our team has put together some programs and some contests. You see, write a story, make some memes, and help do some side panel developments of their own. So these are things that some of it's stuff that we've done in the past and things we're bringing back. We have a few things here on the list. We've got some dates for future school years, but we really believe we can push those into 25, 26, but we don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, so we put some long dates on there. Some of you are familiar with the flavored milk programs that we've done in the past. We'll get back into flavored milk, the banana milk and the birthday cake milk and peanut butter milk and things like that. Just to do a rotation on them to get a little bit more of excitement into the dairy program. Also introducing a common dairy mascot, you know, the world that we came from board, and we could parade Elsie around everywhere. And then we have our team trying to develop what is our new mascot, and we haven't decided on it yet, but they'll have something put together for that. But just trying to get some advertising out there with the districts so that, like we said, we can promote the nutritional value of milk to the kids and to the districts, and also to get the consumption up to where we need it to be. So I think probably as far as the presentation goes, Carrie, that's all we have. We'd just like to open it up for questions, if that's what you'd like to do now.
Okay, absolutely. And thank you. I really enjoyed the video. I had actually not watched it yet, so I appreciated that being shown again. You know, I know some of the questions are going to pop up, and one has already popped up, and that is when schools need to order the product, do you offer online ordering, or are they giving those to the sales reps? How does that work?
We do have an online ordering process that we have several districts using now.
Okay, great. And let's see. A question about issues with milk coming out of Norman, but before you get to that, I know that, you know, for some of us, we want to understand where is the milk sourced and which processing plant is really providing the milk to the Texas districts, and that might kind of address the Norman location.
Okay. Yeah, most of our milk is actually sourced from local farmers. I think doing with about 70% from local farmers, and the other 30% is from outside the area, but it's all Texas milk. During the transition a few years ago, the fact that through the whole business deal, the Austin plant was shut down about 3 months earlier than it was planned. And all of that volume got pushed into Dallas in our Conroe plant, which really just kind of busted us at the seams. So we were counting on Norman and Chandler and Fayette. We're bringing product in from all over the country, really. But now that we have the machinery here, not only have the updates been made here, but they've been made in our Conroe plants as well. So to answer that, we really haven't sourced outside product of any type, not just school milk, but anybody. On the video, you can see quickly that half pint filler. That half pint filler we have now, one, has the capacity to take over the 2 that we had prior to that.
Oh, wow.
And then we've got one more coming. We have one more coming that will be installed before school this year.
Okay, great. And as far as how often are the milk crates washed, what is the process and frequency with that?
Our milk crates are washed every time they're used. When our wholesale trucks come back, or our trailers, regardless of what it is, we put them on a case dock, and they go through a case washer, sanitizes them, washes them, heats them, and then runs them into the plant.
Okay. And let's see, I'm looking at the questions. Okay. Let's see. How's it looking? All right. So I think the next comment was a kind of a comment question about the dirty crates and leaking cartons. But I think all of your updates in machinery is taking care of that leaky carton situation, because that was a sealer. Is that correct? Where the cartons were not being sealed properly?
Correct. Yes, it is. And that new Elopac filler we have is taking care of that.
Okay. And then also some questions about how frequently do you plan to deliver to districts? And now I will say, this is to the members, in our solicitation, we only require a minimum once a week delivery. And if a district needs anything beyond that once a week, then that is to be worked out between the vendor and the district as to what their capacity is and capability. But if you'd like to maybe talk to that, about that, you know, how many times?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's as needed, you know, some of the elementary schools need everyday delivery. Or, you know, the 3 times a week, but yeah, we usually just work that out.
Yeah.
Because our routes are set up where we can get to the schools when they need it, so.
Okay.
uh,
And do you offer a key drop for those schools that are willing to have an after hours delivery?
Absolutely, we would prefer
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
you know, everybody wants to be delivered between, you know, 7 and 11, not just schools, but all of our customers, so key drops
Right.
are welcome, yes.
I think that is something that I think more schools need to, you know, find a way to have their board or their superintendent agree to that, because it does alleviate a lot of those delivery time issues that I see, you know, they get fixed through a key drop. So I'm glad to see that question popping up. All right. And then, of course, the big one about option of 3 types of milk throughout the year, such as strawberry. Is it going to be only a Valentine's Day offering?
No, we do produce strawberry on a regular basis. Steve was kind of laughing at the production guys, you know, they would prefer to make white milk and chocolate. But Eugene and Mike push them pretty good, but we do produce strawberry. We run it twice a week.
We run it twice.
We produce strawberry milk twice a week, yes.
Okay, and you probably know my next question, even though it's not asked over here, but it's mine, as I begin to focus on products that possibly have some of the prohibited ingredients that might be coming our way in July, such as the dyes, the food coloring dyes. What makes your strawberry milk pink? What's the coloring in there?
Yeah, I can answer that one, Gary. So back with the natural coloring movement a couple of years ago, we had already made that transition on our strawberry milk. So you'll actually notice our strawberry milk is actually lighter in color than our half-gallon milk. That's because of that natural coloring. So we've already met that requirement. And as regarding I did see the sugar content comment come up there as well. We
Yeah.
will be meeting, we already do meet, and we're changing some nutritional panel information to meet that product coming to you in the fall. So yes, we
Okay.
are meeting both standards.
And I have to ask, because this is some conversation going on right now, that statements of natural coloring may not be accepted. They're going to want you to outline, well, what's the natural ingredient specifically? Is it a vegetable? Is it a bug? Is it a
Sure.
plant?
Sure, absolutely. I can definitely get you some information on that with our corporate QA team. I do know
Okay.
it does meet that requirement, but I can get you specifics later.
Okay, I will be sending out some requests for filling in current ingredients as I start to flag products that might, you know, contain a prohibited ingredient. I mean,
Right.
it's craziness. We know this. Okay, and then I think you addressed that sugar question, but also product rotation. Are the drivers all trained on proper product rotation? Is that an expectation from Hiland Dairy that this is occurring?
Go ahead, Mike.
100%. We have a lot of staff that has come on in the last year and a half. So you know, our training process has been up to par, and that is one of the things that we, you know, go through an intensive 5-week process through training. So yeah.
Right. Not only from the driver's standpoint, when the milk gets on the truck, but Steve works with the cooler team. Because we move several thousands of cases of school milk through our cooler each day. And rotation is something that we have to keep up with.
Okay. And then, of course, we know you offer juice. Are the juice products that offered on bid, because I haven't dug in yet, are they meeting the Buy American, or is that non-domestic juice concentrate? And are you ready to provide reports regarding, you know, velocity and spend amounts? Because I know that is coming this year. As we get to July 1, schools have to start tracking their total spend on non-domestic products.
No, absolutely. Yeah, we'll provide the reporting from the Buy America. I believe we meet those standards. At some point, we do source some of our concentrate from, you know, South America. But
Okay.
we do have documentation to support where all that comes from. Just
Okay.
want to be clear too, as far as juice goes, we don't produce juice here in our Dallas plant. but our Conroe plant produces a lot of juice for the whole state, so that's where we source our juice from.
Okay. I mean, it's, you know, it's a concern. We know some districts are already exceeding the 10% allowed cap for next year,
Right.
just in juice alone. And what I'm hearing as I attend conferences and hear legislative updates, you know, from the Hill, that I think USDA wants to see juice just go away altogether. A lot of interesting stuff happening in our country right now. So, you know, I think it's more about the sugars than anything, but, you know, what can you do? Right?
Yeah, so sourcing the concentrate for the orange juice has been an issue for several years as far
Yes.
as meeting the biomarker, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Now, I know probably a question is going to pop up or in people's mind about tariffs. Do you have concern that tariffs may affect any part of your packaging or?
I think Steve can help. I believe we've already addressed it. We do get packaging out of Mexico, right, for some of our half point pints.
Okay.
As far as supply, we keep plenty of stock on supply. And we've already done the research and negotiations with the teams as far as costing on the tariffs. So
Okay.
we already kind of got ahead of that because we knew it was coming.
Okay, that's good to hear. I don't think any of us really know what's coming.
Yeah, no, well, what we think is coming or what we. Yeah.
If any of us could just have a crystal ball, this would be the time. Now, let's talk about holiday orders. What advice can you give districts as to how you handle, you know, leading into a holiday? I know every year I hear from at least one district, why isn't the milk company going to pick up the excess milk? How or what processes are you going to have in place to maybe help the customers not over order and get through the holiday without, you know, having a bunch of milk go bad that they have to brunt the cost?
Yeah, that's certainly what you saw on the video, the collaboration between our drivers and the site managers to really, you know, manage that and reduce that as much as we can. But especially like going out for Thanksgiving and spring break where it's a 1 week, is to make sure on the last day of delivery that anything that goes out of date during that vacation period and 2 days coming back in is out of the facility. So that we don't, you know, so really
Okay.
checking code dates on our driver's side and help from the site managers to make sure that, you know, when they show up on the following Monday, that we don't have product that's out of code.
Right.
So that's where we need, and Eugene had mentioned where that relationship is real important to help us through that.
And
Okay,
Carrie,
yeah.
that won't only be the driver's responsibility as well. As Ray mentioned earlier, we have a dedicated sales team for each of the ISDs. So there will be a lot of proactive communication with getting ready to, you know, preparing for the holidays as well.
Right. Okay. I mean, I think most schools are kind of in sync and know what they need typically, but you know, it happens. And then obviously, you know, if there's a need for credit, if out of date product is delivered or, you know, damaged or leaking cartons, you know, what's your process and what's your turnaround time on that?
Well, as far as credit will be issued right on the spot. If there needs to be product replaced, we're usually pretty quick. In addition to our drivers, we have some hot shop folks as well.
Okay.
So we usually respond, and you know, typically when we work with the district as far as keeping stock, we ask for the districts to keep, you know, a half a day or a full day on hand. So if something does happen at our facility, of a truck breakdown or mechanical or all the weird stuff that happens,
Yes.
that the school district, the schools are covered for the day.
Yes.
We also have I'm sorry, I'm coming in from the side here. We also have a pretty experienced AR team here who are working with several districts and their account managers. And so we already have a process in place to make sure that credits are applied to the next bill, as long as they're approved by your schools and your decision makers there. So a lot of times we can get any credits cleared up that are due within the next billing. And then any other workaround, we can, you know, get it completely written off or get any product replaced as needed.
Okay, great. Yeah. So as far as like customer service, I know you talk about the customer service reps dedicated to the school districts. Are those reps, you know, kind of handling everything. So if the school needs a report or they need a credit or they need a, change of delivery or whatever, is it always going to be the same person? Or are there different reps for different aspects depending on the request?
Yeah, it'll be the same person. We think it's easier where they make one call, the one person,
Yes.
let it be a billing issue, credit issue, service issues or whatever, just a one person to handle everything. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I
Those-
like
those-
that as well.
Those sales team members work closely with that AR team, and so any request that flows through them, it's an easy ping, and then we get it worked out.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay. I think that's all my questions that I can think of, and I'm not seeing school districts. Do you have any more? I'm watching the chat panel. Any more questions you want to ask the Hiland team? Not seeing much come through. I think we kind of covered the gamut there. Anything else that you guys would like to add that, above and beyond your presentation? Great presentation. Thank you for that.
Once again, I would just like to say that I know some of your members suffered from a service standpoint during our transition. It was horrible for us. All of us in this room are veterans in the industry. We've been here 20, 30, 40 years. And it was painful for us for what we went through. And obviously we apologize for that, but we want people to trust us as industry leaders. And we're back into business the way that we should be. We just had a rough time during the transition. So we would just hope that the people that know us trust us for what we've done in the past. And going forward, we will provide the same quality and service that we did.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. I mean, that goes a long way, and it does, stuff happens, right?
Yeah.
And we're all human. No one's perfect. And sometimes I think we forget that, that doesn't exist. And, you guys, it seems like you've done a tremendous amount of work to bring everything back up to where, it should be, which has been nice to see. So thank you for that. All right. Well, I think that's all of our questions, and just want to say thank you. Really appreciate your time today and putting together that presentation and answering to all the questions.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Guys, have a great
opportunity.
Same to you. Thanks everyone for attending. All right. Bye-bye.